How's it going, YouTubians? Crazy Bags coming at you. I'm in Schuler, Nebraska. All right, me and student Cedrick come up from Miami, and we went up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Come down to Omaha yesterday and delivered our load of flowers, which, by the way, they're a pain in the ass, but they pay pretty good. And what I like about them is there's no appointment times. You just get there and deliver them. So now we're sitting over here at Schuler at a Cargill meat plant. We're getting ready to pick up a load. And we're going to take it 421 miles. Cedrick, where are we going to take it?
Taking it home, baby.
Taking it home? We're going back to Springfield, Missouri. Why are we going to Springfield?
Get my truck. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
30,000 miles, baby.
So Cedrick has done his 30,000. Or he'll be right at 30,000 when we arrive in Springfield. So he's going to upgrade this week.
Yes.
So I want to take a moment here. Cedrick, what can you tell me about your training process? What was probably your hardest thing out here that kind of was the most difficult for you to get the hang of and get used to?
Backing.
Backing.
My backing, which I'm still not 100 on it, but yeah, that's the most difficult thing.
And he's kind of full of shit, because let me just tell you, he's my fourth student and he backs the best out of any of them. So he's going to say that.
Well,
but he's further ahead than most people when they upgrade on his backing. So the fact that he still thinks he needs to work on it, that's a good sign for his future, because that means he's not too comfortable out here yet.
It's certainly challenging, though. I guess the most nerve-wracking experience is riding on the ice. And you just got to be careful. Have a good trainer like my boy here, and you'll be fine.
Well,
so,
it ain't necessarily good training. It's just using you know, what God's given you in your head and making good choices.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it. Knowing when enough is enough. Knowing when it's become unsafe. So that's the important thing. So you did 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
You're excited to upgrade. You're going to go lease, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Cedrick's going to go lease. He wants to have a little more control over loads and home time and how much time he can spend at home.
Right.
And so that's why he's made that decision.
Right.
With leasing comes the other stuff too, making sure, you know, you always have your truck payment paid. Even when you go home, you still got to pay it. So, you know, you don't want to go home for like a full pay week. You know, make sure you divide that in half.
Right.
And whatnot. That helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Cedrick's got a family at home. They're probably still adjusting, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Still adjusting. That takes a little bit. It takes a little bit on the family to adjust. It can be a little difficult when you have a wife and kids at home, or a husband and kids, or a husband, whatever you may have. It takes a little bit to adjust to that, but they'll get there. When you start making money, that always helps.
Right.
That always helps. So what I always like to ask students is, you know, this is a different experience. Someone like you've never done trucking before or anything like this, right? Okay.
AC technician.
So what a lot of students coming in, I think, are curious about are like the living situation. Like, how difficult is it to live in a box with another human being that you don't know?
It's really not difficult. I think it basically has everything to do with the human being you're sharing it with.
Okay, that's a good point.
That's I mean, you know, like, of course, I don't know if they know or not, you're my second trainer.
Correct. I'm Cedrick's second trainer. He already had one, and he had to change.
You know, had to change on some, you know, don't want to get into that, but as long as you're with the right person, you're on the same level, someone is not only just teach you how to drive a truck, but how to be successful at it. So that's why I'm appreciative right now from where I am. So.
Okay, so let's talk about, we won't talk about your other trainer, but I wanted to ask you about, because we're going to have a lot of these students that come in don't get along with their first trainer. Mm-hmm. So let's not get into why exactly maybe you had to change, but let's talk about the process of changing trainers. Okay.
Well, the process is pretty simple. You know, call the dispatch, communicate with the dispatch, and kind of briefly told him what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I kind of told him basically what I was looking for and what would, you know, me.
Correct.
And so he was able to find the right person for me.
So he's able to match you up a little better.
Yeah, yeah.
But, and see, and then after you've been here a little bit, once you have your first trainer, if you are having some issues and you're communicating with your dispatch, like he said, let them know kind of what you're looking for in a trainer. And not only that, but they get to know your personality. Mm-hmm. See, when you first came in, they don't really know you. You know, you fill out that test.
Yeah.
So, but once you talk dispatch a little bit, because I'll tell you, I'll go into the process how it worked for me on my end. I had let off my other student, my student Sean. He's gone. I planned on going home for Christmas, and Tim called me and asked me if I would take on another student that had to finish. And Tim had known Cedrick to the point of communicating with him where he was able to tell me some things about him, you know, and he basically called me and said, hey, I've got a student. He needs whatever, 18,000 miles, I think, at the time, or 15?
15 at the time.
Yeah, like 15,000 miles. And he was able to tell me, hey, he's a really good guy. He's laid back. He's not real young. He's an older guy. He's ready to learn. So, I mean, that's what it boils down to. When you call, every time you call in and talk to somebody, you're making an impression, okay? So, when you call in, if you're having issues with your trainer, don't call your dispatch and just start ranting and raving and cussing, okay? Right? I mean, because that reflects on you. And if that's the kind of attitude you have, your fleet manager is going to be like, oh, man, I don't know if I can find anybody to make this guy happy.
Right.
You know, but if you call in calm, collective, and say, lay it out. These are the issues. This is what's not working. I'm a laid-back person. This guy's uptight. If that's your situation, this person's loud. You know, just lay it out. And fleet managers know their trainers that they have available, and they know what kind of people we are because they deal with us. And there's all kinds of people.
Right.
You know, we all have different personalities. And so they will try to match you kind of that way. So that helps. So if you do need to change your trainer, it's possible here. And it's not going to make you look bad. Okay? So don't sit there, don't let a trainer who's making money off you try to make you feel like you're going to be in trouble if you decide to get a different trainer. Is kind of what I'm getting at. If you're not getting along, if you're unhappy in that truck, you're uncomfortable in that truck, like Cedrick, make the phone call, start the process, and get you a new trainer. So we're going to go back to Springfield tonight. You're going to start upgrading possibly tomorrow, possibly next day. Depends on when we get there. We're 421 miles out. Our load's supposed to be ready by 3 p.m. this afternoon. So first class for upgrade is 6:45 in the morning. So if we don't get in until 2 in the morning, obviously you don't want to go to class at 6:45.
No, I'll fall asleep.
So if we get at 2 in the morning to the yard, we'll probably sleep in the truck tonight, and then I'll drive them over to campus in the morning and get them a hotel room. Yeah. You know, we'll probably just sleep at the yard and whatnot. Okay, I think
it's been a wonderful experience with my boy James here.
See, I'm all smiles too because it's been great for me too. Cedrick's been a very easy student to work with, I will tell you.
We got some stories to tell, but we can't tell them.
We got stories, but yeah, we won't tell them. What happens in the truck stays in the truck, all right? So we got stories, but we won't tell them. But what we will tell you is we come up from Florida, and he's talking about the ice. As you all know, there was a bad winter storm this week. Well, we drove right through the heart of it. We went through St. Louis, we went across 70 to Kansas City, and we went up to Omaha. We hit a lot of bad weather when we got into Illinois, all the way through Illinois, through Missouri, and up into Iowa and stuff. It was really cold. It was really icy, snowy. Just make good choices, guys. If you get comfortable, you know, you should know when it's time to stop, okay? So I had another trainer tell me I was crazy the other night when I was getting fuel. Cedrick was sleeping. He had driven his shift, and I took over, and we got into Iowa, exit 10 there, and I got fuel, and I had another trainer there. We were talking. He was talking about how'd y'all get through it? And I said, well, we just took our time. We were safe. I said, and I'll be honest with you, when we got in Illinois, I went to bed, and I slept. He said, you let your student drive through that? I said, he's got 29,000 miles. A week from now, he's got to make those own choices. You know, and I told Cedrick that too. And what I tell you right before I went to bed, I said, hey,
if I need to, stop.
If you need to, stop. You know, you're going to have to make this choice for yourself, you know, because it's not just my life at risk, it's his too. It's both of us. So, you know, I felt comfortable enough that I just went to bed. I left him in the snow and ice, and I went to bed.
He went to bed.
And I did. I went to bed. I will tell you, he tried waking me up once, and I slept through it. He actually had to try a second time. So just know when to stop, okay? And if your trainer does that, if your trainer just goes to bed and just tells you to make the choice, you can feel pretty good about how you're doing out there because he's pretty comfortable with you, okay? And he's counting on you to make the proper choice to get him home to his family next time he's supposed to go home, and for you too. So just be smart, make good choices, you know, like I always tell you. You start feeling them tires slip, you start seeing that trailer get a little sideways even 1 or 2 times, it's time for you to call it, okay? We never got in that situation. We were lucky the roads were empty. I will tell you that. The roads were very empty. Matter of fact, that night at the Pilot, when I was getting fuel, I saw a total of 5 trucks in and out of that Pilot in my 30-minute break, and they were all prime. So they were all prime trucks out there. But that was it. Everybody else was off the road. So it's just a matter of taking your time, being safe, and you know, do like I did. I followed the plow for 30 miles. So, you know, at one point when the road got bad, I just got behind the plow and just followed him. You know, he's plowing in front of me and salting. All right, so we're gonna go on to Springfield. We're gonna get Cedrick updated, and I'm gonna get some stuff done to the truck, and then I'm gonna pick up student Stefan, who is at Campus Inn now. Actually, I think he's at the Econo Lodge, but he's in Springfield. He's waiting on me. He went through orientation last week. So if y'all see my truck around next few days, that is me. You're not imagining it. I will be there. I'm not a mirage. I will be in the Springfield area. I'll probably be parked at campus at least one night, because I always like to go to dinner over there at the Fire and Ice.
He's buying.
Oh yeah, Cedrick's right. Cedrick's graduating, I'm buying. So there'll be one night there I'll be buying for him. He'll be having a big steak dinner over there.
That's right.
So if you see my truck there, if you see me sitting in the driver's seat and you want to come say hi, that's cool. Don't come knocking on my door. All right. If you don't see me sitting in the driver's seat or standing beside it, don't wake me up, because there's a good chance I won't even be inside the truck. So a lot of times I'll stay in a hotel. I'll just park there, and I'll just stay in one of the local hotels here. All right, y'all take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Deuces.
Y'all be successful.